Hello everybody, my name is Kutlo. Welcome to Coding 101. In today's video, I'm going to teach you or show you how to create your very own password input text field with a special icon or button that allows you to toggle between seeing the password and not seeing the password as illustrated here in this Facebook login page. So you can see I can just as easily type in my password and then come over here to this icon that you see over here and choose to make my password visible or not visible. So this icon that you're seeing over here is the crux of our component, or is the crux of our password text field, the ability to choose to make our password visible and not visible. So this is exactly what we'll be implementing in today's video. It's a very easy and simple component to create, which you're most likely going to need when creating your next login page. But before we continue, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have plenty of video content that encapsulate the modern day era of web development. I'm hoping to pass whatever knowledge I have onto you in the most simplest way possible. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment in the comments section. If you've been following the tutorial I've uploaded before this, you can simply build on the source code that I've already created, or just simply create a Vite template, install Tailwind CSS, install a package known as Design Icons, and you're set. If you're not familiar with Vite, check out my video where I expound on this all too important tool. So let's get to our source code and let's get to building. Alright, so this is our source code over here. What we're simply going to do at first, we're going to create a password input component. So I'm just going to create a file over here. I'm just going to call it password input. So this is where we're going to create our component. And then over here, I'm just going to say RFC and then create that boiler code. And inside of here, I'm going to create another div tag, actually a form tag. I want to create a form tag. Like that. That should suffice. Then inside of this form tag, I want to create a label. And of course, this label is going to be for our, I'm going to just say HTML4 password, like that. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it. And then inside of this label, I'm going to write password, like that. And then I'm going to give it a couple of Tailwind classes over there. Let me just do this so you can see it properly. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to give it a div. I'm going to put our input tag inside of our div. So I'm just going to say input, like that. That should suffice. We want to configure our input tag in a very special way. So we want to give it a couple of, we want to give our div a couple of Tailwind decorations, if you don't mind. I'm just going to copy them in there. That should be fine. I'm also going to decorate our input tag as well with some Tailwind classes. If you're not familiar with Tailwind, I have a video that just lets you in on what Tailwind is. It's literally a 15 minutes video, so it's not too much. We're not done with that. Okay, but we're done with the Tailwind classes. I'm going to give it a value of just an empty string. And I'm going to give it a placeholder. And then I'm going to say input, or just I'm going to call it password. I'm going to give it an ID. And this ID is going to be password so that this ID links to our label. All right. And I think that should do. Okay. That's okay. And then inside of here, I'm going to create, I'm going to create a state. And this is where we're going to store our password. So I'm going to call it password and then set password, like that. use state, and this is going to be empty for now. And then because now we have a state where we store our password, we're going to change that value. We're going to make it point to password, and we're going to create an onChange function such that every time we type in something, the password state is changed to that particular thing. e.target.value, like that. That should do. Alright, so every time we type something, we expect that this password state is going to be changed. Let's see what we've built by just putting our password input component inside of our app.js. Alright. Now let's go to our browser, see what we've done. There you go. We've created the label, and we've also created this password thing that you see over there. Okay, but we're not done yet. So we need to create one more state, and we're going to call that state visible. And it's going to determine the visibility of our password. Oh, sorry, we're going to call it visible. I'm just going to say set visible. Like I said, it's going to control the visibility of our password. So first it's going to be visible, it's going to be true. So that means our password is visible at this point. So what I'm going to say is that I'm going to use the type attribute of this tag to control the visibility. So I'm going to say if the visible is equals to true, then change the type of this text field to text. If not, then change it to password. Alright. So if we come over here and we type false, what we expect to happen is that if we go to our browser and we type in anything, you can see that it is masked. And so, but if we come over here and we change the state to true, like this, and we go back to our browser, you can see that now our password becomes visible. Alright, cool. And then once we're done doing that, the final thing that we need that I button. Remember, I had said previously that you need to install design icons, because I feel like most of the time they're just easier to use. So there are a couple of icons that I'm going to take from design. So those are like my icons, but you can use whatever icons that you want. You can choose to just download a couple of icons from Flaticon and use those icons appropriately, but I'm going to be using design icons for now. So on the form aspect of it, just like maybe next to the input, I'm just gonna create a div, and I just wanted to give it a little bit of padding. This is where I'm gonna store my icons. And I'm gonna say if visible is equals to true, I want you to show the eye outline. If not, I want you to show the eye invisible outlined icon. Alright, let's go to our browser and see what that is. There we go. And the reason why we have our input tag over here and then we have our icon over here is because of flex. So this is just flexbox laws that makes this ability for us to position our text field over here and our eye icon over here. If you could see clearly, you could see that this entire background that you're seeing over here, this is actually a div tag, and inside of a div tag we've put in our input tag. Let me just like make the background more visible so that you can see. So I'm just gonna say, instead of gray, I'm gonna just make it, how about 200, like that, and then go back to my browser. You can see that this is actually our input text field, or input tag, sorry, that we've just placed next to the eye icon by reason of Flexbox. Alright, cool. So what now we need to do is to actually make sure that whenever we click that eye icon, then something actually happens. So we need to make sure that whenever we click this, then it triggers that visible state. It changes that visible state, and that in turn changes everything. So what we need to do is we need to implement an on-click action, so that every time we click that eye icon, you need to set visible to the opposite of what is existing. Alright, so like that. So this is our toggling. So this will allow toggling between the two icons, and this will also control whether or not the password is text, or it's a password, or it's masked by reason of type, of the type attribute. So now if we go to the browser and we type in our password, you can see that it's visible now, and if we click here, it toggles and it's no longer visible. So we click, it's visible, it's visible, now it's not visible. So yeah, it's as simple as that. It's nothing too difficult. But if you're struggling with this, because we all learn in a different way, but if you're experiencing some sort of struggle, be sure to leave your comments in the comments section, and I'll try as much as I can to expound on how to actually do this. But yeah, this is the end of today's video. Nice and short and sweet. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you have subscribed. Make sure that you have liked this video. It really helps me a lot so that I can keep making these videos over and over again. But once again, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time on Coding 101.